Good morning. My name is Colleen Spaeth, and if you already know my name or recognize my face, maybe it's you've seen me around church with my husband Matt, or my kids Ellyn, 13 years old, and Peter, 10 years old. But I suspect if you recognize me or my face, you've probably seen me singing in choir. I love singing. I sing from the choir loft, I'll sing in the pews, I'll sing anywhere you let me sing, even in my car driving to and from choir rehearsal. And I live in Villa Park, and that's a 20-minute drive, so I get a pretty good vocal warm-up. I grew up singing and attending a UCC church in Glenview, Illinois. It's United Church of Christ, the same denomination as this one, and not just that, but also the same spirit as this church. I participated in every pageant and Bible study, lock-in, work camp, choir, and it probably won't surprise those of you who know me that I was a clown in clown ministry. I pantomimed parables and delivered flowers to hospitals and homes. And I still hold to this day that clowns are a force of love and silliness, no matter what Stephen King has to say on the subject. But today is a day we're going to focus on the music ministry, and I can share a little bit about what happens behind the scenes, mostly from my point of view in the soprano section. Obviously, you all can hear and see the results every Sunday. There's musicians, singers of all ages, a variety of instruments, a variety of styles of music, and that is the result of hard planning and lots of rehearsals. We are so lucky to have the support of top-notch musicians and great directors. Our director, Michelle Hecht, associate director, Jeff Hager, organist, Paul Dorfeld, and Matthew Prins leading the way with the bell choir. And there's many, many gifted musicians supporting them. These are the people that plan and prepare and create a place where the magic really happens. And I think the magic begins in rehearsal. In choir rehearsal, we work hard to create a welcoming and trusting environment for our singers to take vocal and emotional risks. You never know if your voice can actually reach that note, or if a certain song or phrase just might break your heart a little. It requires trust in each other and trust in all of you. We set our intention for singing with prayers, and we share our joys and concerns with each other. We take the time to grow deep roots in our choir community and our church community. Of course, no choir rehearsal would be complete without learning about breathing, vowel shapes. We learn about music. There's another trick to the trade, so to speak, that caught my attention and has had meaning in my life, in my singing and my spiritual life. Now, I can't tell you the very first time I heard our directors point this out, but they frequently remind us to listen. In rehearsal, we might practice this by singing very quietly, or we might close our eyes or face each other while we sing. It's all so that we might better hear one another. Well, for a joyful and loud singer like myself, this was a new focus for my singing. I've discovered that a singer is supposed to listen to make sure they are on pitch, to make sure there is balance among all the parts. And we're listening to the unhearable things too. We're listening to an inner shared rhythm throughout each of our music pieces. We're listening to what our director is telling us through their arm motions and their facial expressions. And we're listening to the congregation. And yes, we see you dancing in the back or clapping up in the balcony, and we also see your emotion when you feel a particularly poignant and meaningful part of the music. Our songs can be invitations or alleluias or prayers to God, and while we sing up here, we are holding each other's prayers in our hearts. We are holding you, and we're holding your prayers in our hearts. And we aren't singing these prayers at you. You are not an audience. You are the congregation, and you have a part in our songs. We are singing with you in a spiritual and musical dialogue, the kind of deeper dialogue that we're always striving for in this space. And if we are all listening hard enough, we might just hear God's part in the conversation. So if you think you might have something to say or something to sing, I hereby extend an open welcome to any of you to join the choir. You can come and sing with joy, or you can come just to join a welcoming community, and you can come to join our conversation. And thank you, as always, for listening.